In the past, answer to this question would probably be different, depending on the current state of the game or the expansion that was released at that time. I can understand how the evolution of the WoW would probably not bring some of the old veteran players back into the game, but in this video we will dive deep in this topic, and who knows, maybe we will see some of them back in Azeroth. In short, the answer to the question, should you play WoW in 2024? Is yes, you should in most of the cases. Hear me out. Whether you are a veteran player or brand new to World of Warcraft, game will offer you what you desire in its current state for the most part. If it's nostalgia for old regions, well, they are still there. Disclaimer until Azeroth 2.0 comes, if we want to believe the rumors. Or you can try WoW Classic, if you also seek more like vanilla gameplay with a simpler rotations and classic WoW graphics. If it's epic raids or dungeons, yes, still here and constantly being added. Or if you seek something different. If you like to play solo majority of the time, even that is possible and solo friendly. All content that was released before the active expansion is definitely solo doable, and you will get a chance to farm those mounts you always wanted. Now let's break this down a bit. For some veteran players, changes to WoW done in the past decade in some cases were not welcomed. Let's not forget that they are the ones that initially brought this game to be the most popular. Those veterans that embraced WoW after vanilla had to adjust on fast-paced gameplay, more complicated rotation, and constant changes to the class system. Changes that sometimes were good and in some very bad for the specific classes or races. Other than that, Blizzard tried to introduce some changes to the game that in some cases dramatically dropped the game population. After Cataclysm, some of those legendary players embraced the horror that swiped across the Azeroth. They are the ones that invested huge amount of time for conquering Firelands and Dragon Soul and many more epic raids. With the population declining, they held the torch for this game with hope to see the better time. What is very different between WoW and majority of the other games is its ever-vocal community. Community that gave their best to let Blizzard know what changes will bring success and what will be a fail from patch to patch. Maybe best way to describe this is expansion that came after Pandaria. Warlords of Draenor, expansion that made WoW feel like Sims. Important plots and building instanced as they were are intended to create a new way of playing WoW. It's enough to say that this idea backfired. This was probably most hated expansion ever, according to the community. While some may argue that worst ones were Cataclysm or Warlords of Draenor, but let's not forget the Shadowlands. Released long after two mentioned expansions, it was still described as one of the worst. Thankfully, mistakes done in the Shadowlands were addressed for Dragonflight, and once again, WoW is in solid state. With changes made in Dragonflight, we have definitely seen player base increase. So many good updates are released for this expansion, so Blizzard decided to follow this path and pave the road for current expansion. War Within. State of the game is solid, and with regular updates and class tweaking, it's a great time to start or continue playing this game. Even if you are one of those veterans that left the ship years ago. While I must say, game still has a lot of space to improve, is definitely worth checking out. To summarize, there is little for all in the new WoW, and yes, it is different than vanilla WoW and classic WoW. A game that evolved towards faster pace and more dynamic action. If this is not to your liking, there is always WoW Classic that will bring back a smile to your face and remind you of great times you had. How will the game progress in the future remains to be seen, but with the latest changes, I am hopeful. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps this channel grow, and more adventurers can enjoy the ever-changing world and history of World of Warcraft.